Murderous habits in the name of comfortability. Egomaniacal, self-serving, destructive, semi-hairless primates, shaped by society's eternal greed and thirst for power. That is what I am made of. A hunger for improvement that drives my family into tech developments and self-annihilation all at once. I see my brother's burrow a spear into my long-lost cousin, blinded by the vision of a leather coat and a bleeding meal. Ignoring the desperate pleading, shrieking, a tender body is turned into a prime cut. Then I come back into this earthly presence. Once again, more than 3 hours of sleep have passed me by, and yet my body still feels heavy, like the burden of my guilty conscience. You're not doing enough. Get up. Do something. Please, I am dying. The echoes of Mother Earth invade my thoughts. It should motivate me, because at least I can hear it, and that means there is a possibility to change it. But I am a lonely tree hugger who still doesn't quite understand her power, and the thought of the morning that I have missed makes me shrivel and seek the comfort of my tiger cover. I just want to escape the tiredness, but the polyphasic sleeping pattern I seek is a goal that often turns into a myth, because I cannot find enough hours on the day to care for this wretched, weakly and needy body, and still find the energy to dive into the oily, poisonous pattern that is my life, in search of a path to the green utopia. Then, like a gentle reminder, my head is filled with vibrations of the beautiful songs that may be forever quieted. Images, sounds, and aromas suddenly flood my senses, showing me the amazing creatures that may soon be forgotten, and the breathtaking scenes that my eyes may never get to discover. Suddenly I remember, I am a tiny blip on the universe, with a vision too large to hold in her hands. So I breathe, I center my energy, and recollect my thoughts. This earthly presence that temporarily holds my being is a beautiful conundrum that has made me infinitesimally small, and yet powerful enough to shift the world into different universes. Remember, a step taken is always a step forward. I forgive my flaws and carry on. Motivation has found me. I put on my robot suit and once again review the steps I've outlined to pursue my quest of environmentally friendly living. Through an Excel sheet, I track the wildlife murderous behavior which I use to engage with society and my fellow earthlings. Cutting meat off my diet has been the easiest task, because images of crowded, featherless chickens, the beaked female chicks, and grinded male chicken nuggets take over my mind every single time they make their way into a plate near me. Beef is not my biggest enemy. I no longer see a delicious meal. Instead, I see the forest destroyed to make space to feed them. I see poison clouds leaving their butts, lakes of toxic waste polluting my beloved rivers, and an ocean full of blood, feces, and suffocating species. I imagine the blue water world turned into a lifeless green abyss of algae. But bacon, oh, that smoky smell has haunted my nightmares. Feeble determination makes my mouth water every time my ferry ride home forces me to pass in front of a Wendy's and its addicting 444 bacon chicken sandwich. But time is up, and the brown woman in Mexico's field picking potatoes for my beloved French fries have had enough abuse and sexual harassment. Yes, no, 1 cup, 1 straw, 1 bag. Every day I fill in the blanks of my life with little wins and losses. Sometimes more losses than wins. But I'll take whatever leaves me with some hope when the sun hides and the moon rises. As a child, a Barbie's world was presented like the perfect lifestyle. But now that I'm surrounded by plastic people, plastic clothes, plastic cars, plastic everything, I realized it was nothing more than a capitalist strategy to infiltrate my social constructs, to invade my notion of what is right, and create a toxic perception of self-love that leads me to a shopping mall. Now, the coffee cup that has helped me get this far becomes yet another loss for my Excel sheet, and the Sioux strive fighting the North Dakota access pipeline. How can I subtract myself from polluting practices if 70% of the food that keeps me alive comes wrapped in plastic? Sometimes I feel trapped, surrounded, caged in a hamster wheel that keeps me exhausted. But then, I take a walk among my tall, leafy relatives, and the movement of their limbs whisper, "It will be all right." Long ago, a tiny sequoia seedling once thought the torrential rain would make it drown. Little did it know it was the fuel it needed to reach the skies. You are now the seedling, and the challenges you face will become a pathway with which to manifest your vision. But although my inadequate human eyes are still blind, something within is suddenly able to see it. The energy of the universe is my soul, and I am a mighty force, because I am not just a lonely tree hugger. We are detachable plants who temporarily forgot ourselves were once mountains. Our sweat and tears flowed through the Nile River. We are powerful, not because we can destroy, but because we've learned how to create. We are powerful, not because we can dominate, but because we've learned how to cooperate. We are powerful when we unite. We are powerful when we finally understand there is no I.